in Sharia, in the Sunni. So which one, if we start saying Sharia at large, not the principle. I mean, I learned, because when you are with people who know better, you have to sit down, listen carefully to what they say, and it's very convincing. So Law 219 or Article 219 is not mentioned, and it was controversial, and I don't think we should get it back. This is my personal views. And if Article 2 mentions what I said, the principles of Sharia, let's not be more royalist than the king. Azhar is the middle Islamic religion, is the one that holds the real, I don't say the faith, because everybody has faith. We are not discarding or eliminating anybody, but it's in the middle.
It's the lighthouse of Islam.
It has been adjusting since already 12th century. Why reinvent the wheel? So on this matter, I covered this part. On the 50% workers or farmers or peasants, whatever you want, what we discussed so far is that the people coming and presenting themselves as peasants, they are retired generals from the police and from the army. So, and the argument some of my colleagues have, it's not in my discussion in the room what I'm discussing, but they have very valid argument. President Nasser gave 50% to the workers and to the peasants. Have they improved their condition in the last 60 years? They had a representation. Have they improved their condition? So it is not a measurement. It's not a way of measurement. And there are no other parliaments, but these are my view, and not to be taken as the view of the committee that is specialized in this. I can't speak on their behalf. When they would reach a conclusion, they will reach it, but we should think quietly, in an open mind, and see the real interest of the people. Who can defend it? Am I better to defend it myself, or is the person himself better to defend it himself? Now, you were asking a third question?
Yes,
was
the issue of the Shura Council.
Of the Shura
Should
Council.
it be
Again,
in existence?
I cannot debate, because my friend Shokti will be talking a lot about this. But in principle, what I believe in personally is, if I have a council, either it has a function or it has no function. If it has no function, why waste money? So if it has a function, a legislative function, let's give it a power. Let's say these are the terms of reference of the Shura Council, but not a place where I put my friends because I want to give them sort of honor or sort of guarantee that they can do what they want or prefer. This is not the issue. We are a country that has to go by references. If I have some specific jobs to accomplish, then we need the Shura Council. If it's just there for the sake of being there, we don't need the Shura Council.
If we look over the whole issue, you are respectable people, a group of entrepreneurs who, you are not law experts, you are in a panel that are sharing in a cuisine that is preparing a recipe that will last for maybe 100 years to come, and you are only reflecting the soul and philosophy of a nation to come. So you're not going to write the articles of this constitution. You're only reflecting the philosophy of what is going to come. So you are in charge of one of the most important sectors in the government. You've been in the field for quite a long time, and probably, and if I could not say most surely, you have some hopes and aspirations that there could be some regulations or some laws that could be included in the sector of tourism that would facilitate this business, because it's one of the most important revenues for Egypt's income. So what you have in your mind while you are in this panel?
I hope when you are referring to a long time, you are not referring to my age.
Of course not.
I'm just joking. Now, back to what you said. First of all, we had one objective, which is the recognition of tourism as one of the major activities that is needed for the Egyptian economy. And this has been included in the amendment of the 10th of the 2012 Constitution. It has been included already, but this is as an inclusion in terms of specifically mentioned tourism. What do I need for tourism other than that? We need every single aspect of the Constitution. True, we are not legal, but in every committee there are legal people. I mean, we are not there alone. We are there, but there are definitely legal people and constitution specialist people sitting in our committee. They don't vote, we vote, but they are redrafting what we say, or
in another stage to come, in an
wording
advanced stage.
differently, because all this, what we are doing in the committees, will be presented to the committee of the 50s, and then there is a special committee for making the final draft, which will be reviewed again by the committee of 50. So it's a process that has several steps to make sure that each one covers the proper thing and it's properly spelled out. Now, what do I need? For instance, in tourism, I must ensure that there is the freedom of the citizen. Why? Because the freedom of the citizen means the freedom of the tourist. And without the freedom of the tourist, I can't ask a tourist to come to visit Egypt. I mean, within the framework of the Constitution. I'm not saying go and do what you want or go naked in the street. This is not what I'm saying. But there are certain levels of freedom that should be respected by and for Egyptian and by and for the tourists. This is one of the things. Now, how to have corporate or how to have social responsibilities. We are here to discuss without affecting the feasibility of the project. I mean, I can't go and say I will impose a minimum wage of £5,000 per worker and then say if this destroys the feasibility, I will have nobody investing in tourism. So we have to find the equitable, not amount, because the Constitution doesn't mention amount, mention principles. So the laws will mention all this later on, but the Constitution has to cover this. So we have to be equitable towards the investor and equitable towards the worker. So this is again one of the things we are fighting for. So we're reviewing article by article, no discrimination, as I said, for women, for Christians, for whoever, other guests or Egyptian working. So these are all the things that can affect tourism directly or indirectly.
Right, Mr. Elhamy El Zayaty, Chairman of the Egyptian Tourism Federation and member of the 50 panel committee amending the Constitution. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us this morning on The Breakfast Show.
Best of luck.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, we now take you to a report prepared by Reem Noor on the Arab Parliament and the International Day for Democracy, and we'll be right back for more on this morning's edition of The Breakfast Show. Stay tuned.